Hey loves, HeatherAsh here for our monthly prayer circle, and I had a time glitch. Hey Carla. Um, so I thought it was at 5 o'clock Pacific and it was 5 o'clock Mountain. So hopefully you all will find your way here. We'll also share the recording later. So welcome out to everyone that is live. Each month we gather for 30 minutes to do a really sweet prayer circle. And my heart and connection with this prayer circle is that we spend time praying for our own heart's desire. What do we want for ourselves? And to really name what that is. Welcome, Kathy, who's here by accident. Glad you're here. And that we then also do prayers for our planet, for people in our family, or for countries. So, for those larger issues that we are wanting to send energy and love and support for, maybe that are heavy in our heart, and sometimes where we feel overwhelmed by. So, really grateful to get to tune in with everyone here for our monthly prayer circle. I'm currently in Teotihuacan, Mexico. Just finished a 10-day intensive here with firewalk trainers, training firewalk trainers. So, welcome to everybody that's joining here live. So, the intent again for the prayer circle is that we spend a little bit of time together collectively praying for ourselves. What do we want? And then we open it up to pray for things that we are holding in our lives that are bigger than us. And the way that I geared it this way, and this broadcast is part of Center for Creative Intent, which is a 501c3 non-religious spiritual organization, non-denominational, that is the correct word, spiritual organization, and the Ash and Rose Spiritual Collective. And we offer classes and free ceremony and events like this. I'm currently doing both a monthly prayer circle and a monthly new moon circle so that we can connect in with the energy of the new moon cycle. So today we start with, what do you want for yourself? What's our prayer for ourself? And so the invitation is to put your hands out. And just put your hands out and put them in front of your heart. And if it feels comfortable to you, close your eyes and just take a couple breaths and settle in. So whether you're here by accident or you're here on purpose, you are welcome to be here. And also blessings to everybody who's watching this recording later. So cupping your hands together and bringing them by your heart. And as you close your eyes and settle in, we bring a prayer here that we may learn to be more present with ourselves, that we may be more compassionate with ourselves, curious, and open-hearted. That we may know deeply in our bones that we are a manifestation of the divine, that we are life moving through form, that we are spirit, and that we're here to take action. We're here to listen to what is our heart's desire. We're here to experience joy. We're here to experience love. We're not an accident, and that we are worthy. And so listening to yourself, and I like to imagine that we're holding a bowl of water, and that in that bowl of water, you're going to whisper or say or imagine that you're putting your personal prayers. And these are prayers that are just for you. So these are not prayers for the world. These are not prayers for your partner. These are not prayers for your kids. What's your prayer for yourself? What do you want more of in your life? What are you yearning for? What are you wanting to release? So closing your eyes if that feels comfortable, and exploring, inviting yourself to pray into this imaginary bowl of water that you're holding, your prayers for yourself. And just let yourself breathe. And I found it incredibly helpful to pray out loud for what you want. It helps to make it more real and make it more powerful. So I'm going to mute my audio and we'll take the next couple minutes to pray together for what your heart's desire. Good. And keep praying. And if you want to, again, pray out loud, if you can do that, or pray to yourself. And imagining that you're praying into this bowl of water that you're holding, speaking your prayers out loud or to yourself. What's your heart's desire? What do you want more of in your life? And we'll take one more minute and then we'll do a prayer for each of us. Beautiful. And you can continue to do your own prayers. I'm just going to say a blessing and a prayer for all of us, for our own heart's desires as well. So calling on Creator, life, all that is. May each of us individually listen to our own hearts and our intuition so that we may deepen into relationship with this being that we are, not the being that we think we're supposed to be, the being that we were, but that we settle into the center and that we listen and let our action come from a centered present place so that we're not acting out of the past or out of who we think we're supposed to be, but we're aligning deeply with our own authenticity and bringing our gifts into the world from a place of overflowing. Good. So visualize now this visualization earlier today that there's a circle around you and that you can say the east-west direction or the directions to the left and right of you, that line through the circle is the present moment, is about being completely present here with your awareness open wide, that you're feeling your own center connected to this moment. The land, the animals, the other humans, this present moment, your senses, grounded and present. And that you can imagine in the circle that north-south, you can think ahead of you and behind you. So that other line, if you think the circle that has a cross through it, which is one of the oldest symbols in the world, circle and equidistant cross, that other line of the cross that is before you and behind you, that's about action. So there's the presence, and then from that centered present place that we step forward, taking in the information from our past, not being held to our past, but having integrated the wisdom and the guidance and the lessons from our past, centered in responsibility, and that we're then moving forward into the future of taking an action based on our integrity, on our heart's desire, on our clarity, on our curiosity, and that we take that action fully, 100% in, and that we then let it go, release that action, step back into the center, back into that core place, connected. So that's the energy. Today's Capricorn full moon. So it's a beautiful vision for how to be in relationship from a place of prayer. That our prayer is that we may stay centered inside of our own being, and that the places that we get out of center, that we're able to bring ourselves back. So the places where we get caught in the past or the old stories or the old hurt, or the places we dream into the future and are thinking what should be or worrying about what's coming, that we learn with love to bring ourselves back into the center, get back into this present moment, connect with earth and sky, with the elements, with our senses. And then when we're clear from our heart's desire, taking action. 100%. Take the action, release back to center. So my prayer for all of us is a prayer that a friend of mine brought to a ceremony once. And his prayer was this: may I either be experiencing my connection to all that is. And when I hear that, it's may I be experiencing my connection to this present moment. May I be grounded in my center. May I be present with my heart's desire. May I be here. And then the prayer said, may I either be connected to all that is, or may I be praying to get back into connection. And I love this so much, that we're either immersed and present, or we're praying to get back to that place. And each of us has had an experience of connection, of feeling larger than ourselves, like feeling ourselves so fully and recognizing the connection that we have to everything. We each have had that experience, that touch of spirit into form. Sometimes it's just a tiny touch, and sometimes we're immersed in it for longer periods of time. So our prayer for this part of our prayer circle, may we be praying for connection, or may we be living connection. May we feel authentically in integrity, present here, or may we be praying to get back to presence. So that's the first part of our prayer circle. And hello, welcome to those of you that just joined. So good to have you here. Hey, Maya and Rebecca. Hello. So the second part of our prayer circle is around praying together for where we would like energy to go in the world. I found that we bring both of these things together. When we pray for our own heart's desire, when we learn to get more present, when we're finding our own connection, that then, when we find that center place, then from there, we can ripple out our blessings and our prayers. And then they're not just thoughts or concepts, then we're aligned energetically, and then we have extra power, juice, energy to then radiate it out to where we want to put our blessings. And so for the second part, for today, pick one place where you would like to send energy, or would you like to send blessings and prayers? So there are so many places in the world and people and things and countries that can use prayers and blessings. And to make it potent and focused today, my invitation is for you to pick one place, one thing. So it may be a family member that you want to send prayers to. It may be a country. It may be a group of people that you want to send prayers to. So just take a moment to go inside and ask yourself, where would you like to send some extra energy today? Where's one place, one person, one country, one group of people? And to make it as real as possible, when you feel that the one thing that you've picked, and again, there's many, many places we can bring our prayers to. Our invitation for today is pick one person, place, or thing, group of people, country, family member that you want to send energy and prayers and blessings to. And once you find what that person or country or group of people is, or animals, it can be anything, trees, when you find what that is, imagine it in front of you. So if it's a person, you can imagine them standing in front of you. If it's trees that you're praying for, imagine what type of tree you're praying for, or a forest. If it's a country, imagine that country, and you can see it visualize it on a map, or you could connect to, if you've been there before, a physical connection that you had there, or an image. But use all of your senses to make it as alive as possible in front of you. That being, that country, that group of people, animals, whatever it is you're praying for, one thing, and then visualize, use your senses, make it as real as possible, as if you were standing in front of it or within it, depending on what it is. We'll just take a moment to breathe into strengthening that vision of what you're praying for. Beautiful. And then when you have that image, it took me a minute to figure out, who do I want to send this to find that one person or group of people or country or thing that you want to send prayers to. Go ahead and share it in the chat. So if you have access to sharing it in the chat, please feel free to put whatever that is so we can all share it together. And then I'm going to grab a candle. I today am praying for women in Afghanistan. I started reading about a little bit more about what's happening there. Just had some heartbreak around that today. So it feels good to put some prayers there. So share something that I like to do when I'm doing prayers is, when you have long candles like this to light, let's start with the smaller candle. If you want to share what you're praying for today, oh, beautiful, thank you. Hi, Cinda. My grandson, he's 1. Great, putting your grandson in. Share what his name is too if you want. Kathy, hey Kathy, the matriarchal lineage of your family, beautiful. Oh, good. Anybody else who wants to share in the chat? So one thing that I do when I'm doing prayers and I have a big candle like this that I want to light, this great tiger candle, is I'll light a smaller candle and then I'll dip incense in wax and then light the incense. Julian, great, thank you. Good. Poet Know It. My 89-year-old father with cognitive decline. What's your dad's name? I always love to share people's names as well. So I'm going to light this candle for all of our prayers. Let's see if we can do this. Come on, baby. This incense is really special to me because I got this, gosh, 25 years ago with my dad at a Kuan Yin temple in China. Okay, so this candle is now lit. And take it off a portrait so you can see. Frederick. Ah, good. Perfect. All right, loves. So bringing in blessings for all of us from my dad, Papa Jerry, and from Kuan Yin, that this incense is from, this really beautiful temple in China to Kuan Yin, that this incense is from. And there she is, goddess of compassion. So let's bring that energy of compassion to the beings that we're praying for. And I'm just going to hold this candle. And if you have a candle that you want to light and hold, or you can imagine holding a candle, and bring your hand to your heart and connect with your compassion, your feeling of compassion, of where you felt somebody being compassionate towards you, or where you feel compassionate towards somebody else. So first, find, what does compassion feel like in your body? So not a concept, but what does it actually feel like in your body? And let yourself soften around that. I think sometimes when we're praying for others, sometimes there can be sometimes a little bit of armoring or a little bit of force. And so when I invite you to soften your heart and really find your compassion for other people's struggle. Or your tenderness around something that's happening that you don't have control over. Just let yourself feel that sense of tenderness or vulnerability and compassion. Compassion for yourself, but we're going to then send that out. Good. And when you've connected with that sense in your own being of feeling sense of compassion and a tenderness, or even a sense of vulnerability, breathing, softening the heart, then imagining that you're radiating compassion out from your heart in all directions, and that you're radiating it out towards the person, the place, the people, the country, the issue, whatever it is that you're praying for. You're going to radiate it out and then imagine targeting it towards that being. So sending it out, targeting it towards that being, whoever it is, with love. And then there may be words that follow that line of energy. So you let it radiate through your being and out, and then you're going to send a line of energy to the being that you're praying for, sending them a line of energy of compassion. And then are there any words? So again, if you can speak out loud to that being or country or whatever, what's your prayer? So speak it out loud if you're able to, or speak it in your heart and let it radiate out. So in this part, we're praying for someone else, another being or another people or country. animals, it could be anything. But now target your energy towards that, where you want the energy to go. And then what's your prayer for them? And again, you can speak it out loud. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself as I do my prayers, and then we'll come back together again. Good. So taking another minute to continue your prayer for the person or thing that you picked to send prayers to. Again, you can do those prayers out loud or to yourself, continuing to connect to your own compassion, tenderness. Let that radiate through your being, and then sending out the line of energy to where you want those prayers to go. Beautiful. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Good. And a reminder, sweethearts, about this, the beauty of doing prayers where you start with your heart's desire, where you name what you're yearning for and bring that to your prayers. And that, for me, when we're praying, it's so wonderful to feel, who are you praying to? And it may be that you're praying to life. It may be that you're praying to your higher self. It may be that you're praying to the wind. It may be that you're praying to the goddess Isis. It really doesn't matter. I think as humans, the divine, the invisible realms, our ancestors, like it's so big that it's helpful for us to have a image or an energetic that we are praying to and that we're conversing with, that it's not a mental thing, that we become more connected in prayer to some manifestation of the divine. And I just heard a couple days ago this idea that to pray to a god or a goddess or whoever, the wind, that you pick a form of the divine and pray to that for 40 days at least. If you're going to shift around, that you pick one and commit to relating, being in relationship to that being. And so for years, I tend to go back between Guadalupe. I'm currently in Mexico right now, and I'm a big devotee of Guadalupe, who is Tonantzin, who's a much, much older goddess, an earth goddess, and also to Kali, who I had a huge experience with when I was 7 years old. And so I'm realizing that I want to start shifting my focus towards prayers to Kali now. I've been working with Guadalupe for a long time. And so now I might go build an altar specifically to Kali and reconnect to then being in relationship with the divine in that form, so that it's something that's built over time. The prayers are communication. It's a conversation that we're sharing, and we're also listening. And that then, from that heart's desire of praying for ourselves, that we then find our compassion, or what's the quality that you want to put into the world? It may be courage. The quality may be love. It may be ease from suffering. And that we find that quality in our being. We really settle in so that it's an experience in our being. We let that then radiate through our body, through our energy body, through our body. Get tender, let yourself be vulnerable. Feel your own compassion, and then send prayers towards other, whether it's one human that you're praying for, or many humans, or animals, or a country that, or a cause that you're then praying and sending that energy out. And it's also really powerful to pray out loud. So thanks so much for joining me today for our monthly prayer circle. Our next one is July. Let's see if I can go pull it up really quick. 1 second. July. Pretty sure it'll be July 24th. So I'll follow up on that. And the next call that I'm doing on Substack is our new moon call, which is on July 12th, and I'll be tuning in from Scotland. So look forward to connecting with you then. Thank you again so much for joining, whether you're joining live or watching this recording later, for our monthly prayer circle of Ash and Rose Spiritual Collective. Much love to you. Mwah. Blessings, everybody. Bye-bye.